Now the country is where it found itself in 2005, deeply divided over the proposed changes to the constitution. Kenya's Deputy President William Ruto seems to be leading the group against.
There are those who believe, yes, it's a constitutional moment, but to progressively implement the 2010 constitution. There are those who believe that maybe this is a moment to discuss the ravages of COVID and the reality of our economic status.
While former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and his newfound political ally Uhuru Kenyatta are for changes, their argument, this will end the cyclical electoral violence.
And I believe that together we can overcome this hurdle. And then those who are seeking elective positions, how wonderful it would be if you were seeking those elective positions in a unified country where it was ideas that are competing against each other, not ethnicity.
And we, with President Uhuru Kenyatta, when we talked, we said we want to bequeath a better society for the coming generation of our country. We brought this because we have seen that there are problems in our country, and these problems must be solved by the people of Kenya themselves.
In its bid to introduce checks and balances, the Building Bridges Initiative, BBI, proposes the position of a Prime Minister who is a nominee of the President. Those opposed to the proposal see this as a backdoor introduction of an imperial presidency.
The President now appoints a Prime Minister from the majority party. The President appoints the two deputies of the Prime Minister. The second runner-up in a presidential contest is the only one who is accommodated, and that person becomes the leader of official opposition at the National Assembly. So the question then is, how does that safeguard inclusion?
Its drafters, however, argue the proposal goes further and curbs the winner-takes-all electoral system currently in place through the introduction of a leader of official opposition.
The fact that you get to the House, you take a position in the House and a constitutional position, and that you participate in the governance on an everyday basis in a recognized manner, and that you do this with your party, would give a lot of incentive for you to accept even a result which you may feel was not entirely fair. The Prime Minister is a leader of the majority party in the House. So he's not a creation of the president. He's a political leader by his own right.
Those opposed argue that what should have been done if the country is to end post-election violence is to reform the Electoral Commission to make it more independent of the ruling party of the day. Under the new proposals, at least 3 commissioners of the Electoral Commission will be nominated by a select political parties.
Essentially, you're making the players, and not even all the players, you're making some of the players in the political contest to become choosers of who will referee the elections.
They don't come as representatives, but they are people, whoever they are, but they kind of get to express the confidence that political parties have in that commission. And so that if there are mistakes, the political parties will not come and complain about state capture because their people were on the table.
Women have also argued that the current provisions under the Building Bridges Initiative have shortchanged them and taken away gains of the 2010 Constitution, which demanded that no one gender should have more than 2/3 representation, a provision that they are yet to attain 10 years since the passing of the 2010 law. Now the country is preparing for a referendum to be held sometime next year ahead of the 2022 general elections. Those opposed to the current draft want further amendments, but the door, it seems, has been slammed shut.
If we safeguard this country by passing these constitutional amendments, we safeguard ourselves from a lot of losses that we incur every time we go through bad elections, every time we go through the kind of scuffles that our political differences bring to us. And the fact that our economy is simply shut down 1 year to every election and take another 2 years to get up, I do not think you can quantify the kind of losses we are talking about. This is a worthwhile investment.
If indeed the process is intended to unite the country, and if indeed we do want a bipartisan amendment to this constitution, I think we need to sit together and dialogue and agree on how best to forge forward and what is the minimum we need to do just to ensure that the next election are more credible and enjoy the legitimacy, of not only the national, constituency, but also the international community.
Kenyans are watching, hoping the debate will not overshadow the pressing needs, including a limping economy and rising positive cases of COVID-19 infections. Sarah Kimani, SABC News, Kenya.